Welcome, my name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and welcome to Project 24. Can you believe we are one project away from our final project? So we started on the 27th of October, if you haven't seen these, and we've done Monday to Friday for the last 5 weeks. So this is our second from last project. It's a Christmas cracker. It does not have one of those snaps inside. I'm aware that there's many adults and children that don't like the bang, so I have not got a cracker snap inside here. Oh, hello, thank you very much. Okay, we do however have a hand cream and a lip salve. So let's bring in the other supplies and you can see how it's created. So very simple. We have a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper. I have it was 16 inches of ribbon, Misty Moonlight ribbon. What I've done is I've literally cut it in half. So there's 2 pieces there, so 8 inches each. I have used the largest frame, which has got my Peaceful Garden Glimmer. I've used white for the center, and I've also got myself a white dove. So let's create the cracker. So the first thing we need to do is to cut this cracker down to size. So it needs to be a 7 1/4 inches. So let's do 7 1/4 inches in portrait. Yeah, we'll do it this way. 7 1/4. Then I'm going to turn it and make it 11 1/2. Now, those of you that have got a scoring blade on your cutter can go ahead and cut or score, but I'm bringing in my score tool because I love it. So on the 7 1/4 inch, you need to make the following score lines. Now, don't worry, excuse me, these will be on my blog. So the first one we need to make is 1 1/8 all the way down, 2 1/4, 3 3/8, 4 1/2, 5 5/8, and 6 3/4. And you're going to turn it on its side, so you're looking at the 11 1/2 inch, and you're going to score it at 1 7/8. You're going to score it at 2 1/2, and at 3 1/8. And you're going to go all the way down here, and you're going to score it at 3 3/8, 9 inches, and 9 5/8. So that's 4 and 1 makes 5. Okay, that is all the scoring we need. What we need to do now is to burnish our fold lines. Oh, look at that. You can see that quite clearly, can't you? Okay, so we're going to fold, burnish even. There we go. Fold and then burnish. Perfect. Next one. Do it with my finger and then with my bone folder. And the next one. All the way along the line. And the next one. And the next one. So that's all of the 7 1/4 score lines. You've got this lovely thin one, which is how we're going to hold it together. We then now need to score our the ones that we did on the 11 1/2. Wow, my brain just went somewhere else then. Wish it had taken me. I don't know where it went. So we've done 1, 2, and then the third one is this one. You've got 3 score lines there. 1, 2, and 3. And turn it around and we'll do the same on this one. 1, 2, 3. Did we do 3? 1. Oh, let's do the middle one again. Maybe it was the middle one. Because I'm using a darker colour, it's a little difficult to see the scoreline. Right, there we go. Look at that. There's that one, and then there's that one. Okay. So, you're going to outset. So you've got those two that way. So you've got a scoreline that is here. Okay, and then you do the same with this one. Find your middle scoreline, pinch it up, and fold it down. Now this is going to help us create our cracker section. Because obviously the cracker, when it is, let's do it the other way, closed, there we go, that's better, will sit like that. Okay, so what we need to do is we are going to cut up along each of these score lines here, and we're going to keep within the area. So what I'm going to do is grab my scissors wherever I found them. There they are. So we're going to go, got one score line here, so you're going to go up like that and then cut across. It gives you that effect now. Okay, and do the same again. So there's the other score line. You're going to cut up. What you don't want to do is go above this score line. There you go, 1 and 2. Now obviously if you want them to tear easily, make your triangles larger, because obviously the nearer they are together, the easier they're going to break. So 1, 2, again, 1, 2. They don't need to be terribly symmetrical because they will be hidden by ribbon. 1, 2. So that's that one. Turn it round and do exactly the same on the opposite side. So we're going to go up, down, up, down. So your point is going to be on the score line. Okay. And once we've done this, it should begin to give you the overall effect of how the cracker will work. Okay, there we go. Right, so as you can see, that goes in like that. So what we probably want to do now is to re-score our lines. So let's just flatten that down a bit. We've definitely got one there, one there, one there. Turn it over a bit. One there, one there, and one there. Okay, so when they come together, you've got your cracker, and they should, with a little bit of help, fold in. They don't initially fold in. What you just need to do is to reimburse that folder line. Okay, so you're just gonna, because that's the bit that needs to tip in. Okay, that's one. I'm gonna do the same again on this one. There we are. Right, so we roll it like so. You will see that these lines, come here, flip down. Okay, so they go in all the way around. Right, so what we need to do now is to add our line of tear and tape all the way across here. Let's do that. So all the way down, straight across. Right. Okay. So this folds over, and then we're going to bring this up to here, and we're going to match it as best we can. All right. So let's do that. She says, if it doesn't work straight away, just push it down with your bone folder. That should help to, yes, there we are, to ease it. And then I'm just going to pull that off. And I'm just going to bring in my edges so they match up. So that one will go to there. fits perfectly straight across to there. If you want to, you can slightly bend it. All the way. There we go. That is our folder. It should move in. Look, so you can see it. Might need a bit of help. So this end here, you can see is poking clear, or you can see a bit. So what I suggest is you just snip down like so. Let's pull that out and do the same on this one. There we go. Right, that will help us push it in again. Push, push, and again on this side. You want to make sure all your middle sections are pushing inwards. Just ease it. Don't push it too hard because you don't want to tear it. So as you can see, there it is. It's beginning to go. So that's one. Okay. If you feel it's not working and it's not, just turn that bit over and give it a bit of more of a push. There we go. And then you find that you should find that your middle pieces go in easier. There we go. Once you've done that, you now can, there we go. You're just easing it. There we go. Look at that. You're going to use your ribbon. So I'm going to take my piece of ribbon and I'm going to add it to the bottom of this one. Now what I'm trying to do is find the edge. There it is. I'm going to put that at the bottom so that my ribbon is facing up. And then I'm just going to create a knot with it. And if I pull it tighter, you will see that it will move in. This is the bit. There we go. There we go. And then you're just going to pull it. You might want to give yourself, I seem to have done too short a ribbon. Let me grab my ribbon. I have some more here. Let's undo that gently. Just wriggle it out. There we go. Just want to work out why that isn't pushing in. There we go. That bit keeps popping out. So let's, there we go. Just pop it in. Again, I'm going to lay it flat and I'm just going to fold that in and burnish. Depending on the thickness of your designer series paper will depend on how easy the fold is in. There we go. There we go. That's much easier. There we go. I just don't want to break it. There we go. Perfect. So let's get my ribbon. I'll wrap my ribbon round. Drag that a bit. Tap that underneath. I'm going to pull that gently so it doesn't tear. I'm going to knot it. Like so. And I put it in. Then with my ribbon scissors, which are here, I can cut. Okay, so that's the first end. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our goodies. So there goes the hand cream and the lip salve. And then we're going to do exactly the same over here. Making sure, oh, the lip salve doesn't escape. There we go. This will then come up. And we will create another knot. So add it there. Oh, my lip salve has escaped. You're going to pull it so that your lip salve doesn't escape. And then you're just going to knot it. Like so. There we are. That's better. And then we can just one there and one there. Right, so what we need to do now is to, there we go, I'm going to put our sentiment on here. So I've got this and I've got Merry Christmas. And to add a bit of colour, I've got Pecan Pie, which is one of the other colours that you find in the Peaceful Garden. I'm just going to tap that onto there, like so. Turn it round, pop it down, straight up. There we are. That can now sit on top of my glitter. I'm going to use my glue, my multi-purpose glue for this. That will go over the top, like so. Just make sure it is all straight. There we go. And then that will sit on your cracker like that. You can have it flat or you can raise it. Let's do it flat. So all you're going to do is you're just going to do a line down the middle, because everything else won't touch the paper. So that's going to go onto there. Just run your finger down, hold it for a couple of seconds. There we are. And then I've got my little dove, which she can fly there. And I'll put her on a glue dot. No, I won't. I'll put her on a dimensional. There we go. I'm just going to use the one. And there we go. So there are our Christmas crackers. And aren't they amazing? I am so pleased with those. I think they're the perfect gifts for friends and family around the Christmas table. Or, as I said with the desk calendar the other day, you can make them as table gifts. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. And I look forward to catching up with you for our final project. So thank you ever so much. Take care. Bye.